New World Order is always one of the first ones in here. Every live stream. Prentice Nolan, thanks for joining. Rick James. J Wright 23. Did the alert go out? I didn't get it. Did you guys get alerts? Anything for clicks. Jamie, what are you saying calling Reggie racist? Coming in here and immediately talking trash for no reason. Raymond from Sydney, Australia. Thank you for joining. Okay, cool. You guys got the alerts. All right, good. Tim, thanks for joining today. We'll get Reggie. We're just going to get some people in here, and then we'll get Reggie to join, and then we will start officially with the live stream. Big U had Snoop's goofy ass singing "Better Check In." Yeah, I think that was the name of Big U's podcast too, Checking In or something like that. But yeah. Let's see. Okay. Jersey representative, thanks for joining. Money over B, thank you. Jerry Myers, he says it himself. He don't like white folks. Well, he does shows every day, or every couple days with a white person. So I don't know. Take from that what you will. Anything for clicks. John, will you ever check in? I never go out, so I don't need to check in. I don't go anywhere. Let's see. Okay, we're up to about 86 people. Let's get a little more in here, and then I'll try to hit up Reggie and see if he wants to join. Fred says, chat is God. Okay, I don't care. All right. Craig, can't speak on that until it's over, but just don't believe everything you hear from somebody who picks apart bits and pieces of things. Tries to fool you guys every day, making videos about one person. Princess Nolan, okay, cool. Glad you still have yours. Now I'm scrapped. I don't care. I don't dread. If you just keep spamming random stuff, I gotta boot you or put you in timeout. Let's see. Ray Brown finally caught alive. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we've done a Sunday this early during the day in a very long time. So there must not be any good games on. Otherwise, I wouldn't. I don't think Reggie would want to do it. He loves it. He loves the sports. So either the Dodgers aren't playing, or the Lakers are playing, but maybe later, or they're not playing. I don't know. All right, Dread, whatever. Yeah, gotta let you go, buddy. Welcome back. Welcome back.
What up, John? What up? What up, Ball First? Happy Sunday, y'all. Yeah, I've been checking out. We finally got our brackets for the NBA. For all my sports fans, John, type in NBA playoff brackets.
Okay.
For 2025. And so all my sports fans can see. Look like the Lakers going to play the Timberwolves. But y'all know that's what I'm rooting for. Golden State dropped the ball today. They got to go all the way and do a play-in game. But they'll prevail. Clippers looking good. Italian Stallion. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate our first super chat of the day. I want to thank Mob James. He mentioned on using moringa powder on reducing diabetes. Okay. Okay, he talked about that. He sure did. He talked about that on one of our last episodes. I just started using it a week ago and I can feel the improvement. Shout out. We'll try to get, and I'll definitely pass it along to Mob James. And if we get time, we'll send a link to Mob James and he'll come and join us. How y'all like his segment going over there with Vlad? Him and Vlad got some segments going on. And so if y'all can get a chance to go over there and support Mob James, well, I'm sure he'll appreciate it. And I'll appreciate it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Reggie, shout out Chris. It's my birthday. Okay. To babe Lanina. Big Chris. Happy birthday, brother. Okay. Ask a bomb. Okay. You got a crazy name, but it's cool. Reggie, do you think Chicago and LA gangs will ever form some sort of money-making alliance? I'm sure they do. There's already a little bit. That's what I'm about to say. I'm sure they do. They have some, but man, that crossing state line stuff is crazy. I'm telling you, that's when the feds definitely get involved. When you start doing stuff cross state lines, I wouldn't advise it because the feds give you time. The states doesn't give as much time as the feds. The only thing good about the federal system is their prisons are a little bit better than the state facilities. As y'all see online, when y'all go online and see how nasty those guys still be in the state and the feds, they don't allow that. They'll make you clean that cell up with that area real quick. Will you ever get Danny Boy back on here? Oh, John had asked me about that. John had asked me to reach out to Danny Boy. I hadn't. But if we start doing back interviews where we put people on up there, we may start doing that, and we'll get Danny Boy to be one of the first ones. He's always supportive. We had just found it more convenient, to be honest, just because cost effect, just to do them with me. And if they do okay, they do it, and if they don't, they don't. What happened with the other channels? Y'all be seeing all those views and stuff, but they be having to rent spaces. What they call that, Airbnbs.
Yeah, Airbnb.
And they be having to pay the talent, and so that takes a lot of money out of the budget that you have to share. So we felt like we got our point across to what the reason why we was on here. So now we just been out here pretty much reacting to things and trying to update things that's going on that kind of surrounding the LA area or the Death Row or Tupac or whatever situations is going on, or Suge or whatever that's going on in the LA County area. It's how we've been taking our channel of late. We can't just set up like other people's channels and just respond to one person and everything and try to critique and edit up their videos and use half truths of what they say. We can't just do that. I mean, we respond to people, but it just doesn't be one person. And is Mob J sick? No, he been trying to control his diabetes. I noticed you saying that because he look a lot smaller. But if you listen to the last interview he did with us, he told us how he was working on taking some type of medication that the gentleman just told us about to control his diabetes and all of that, and how he had gave up smoking cigarettes and all of that. So, hey man, once you get older, you get into your late 50s and your 60s, you got to start worrying about your health, bro.
Yeah, starts to catch up all the shit you did when you were young.
Yeah, you can't just walk and eat hamburgers whenever you want and drink sodas whenever you want. So that's all I think is going on with James. But James good. James good. Why y'all deleting comments? You go on SBCC on here? Oh, I didn't know it was deleting comments, but
I
okay.
haven't deleted a comment yet today.
Okay, yeah. Maybe YouTube do it. YouTube does that automatically because if you're saying something stupid, they have automatic detections too where they delete stuff and they can put it in what they call hiding and all of that.
Mm.
The only persons here that's I've seen so far that's a moderator that could delete something is the supervisor. So you can ask the supervisor if he deleted your comment, but I haven't seen any other moderators here. What up? Respect. Thanks for tuning in, the supervisor.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's Super Chat Reggie. Ask about $2. Why did Death Row always have trouble in Milwaukee?
Yeah, I never know. I don't know of any situations in Milwaukee, but that might have been before my time. I got to remember I didn't come around until the end of '94, the beginning of '95. But I don't remember of hearing any incident in Milwaukee. To be honest, Chicago, Milwaukee, yeah, and I know Chicago and Milwaukee is kind of close to each other. But Danny Boy and Suge had a dude out there, Little. His name was Little something. That was in Chicago. That he was pretty cool with. He's actually the guy that he bought Danny Boy from. Well, we know slaves. I'm talking like we slaves or something. Bought his contract from Little. I forget his name. It was a dude that they called Little something that Danny Boy was signed to. But I don't know of any incidents in Milwaukee.
Somebody asked Reggie, did you see RB? And I know it's on Gangster Chronicles, but did you see RBX respond to Suge? To Suge's interview about him?
Yeah. Hey, so the Milwaukee GD thing, you said chase Tupac down the street. He wasn't with us at that time, Axabon. I heard of that incident, but that was prior to him being on death row, so I don't know anything about it. You have to go ask the groupie. Maybe the groupie will tell you. Maybe he'll research that and tell you about it. He seems to know everything. Straight Gang calling John out for lying too much. Well, what happened is, and y'all got to try to understand, me and Art the Dialogue didn't fall out until in August. So for someone that saw that video, the text that John responded to Art saying that we won't post anything else to was Gene Deal. And that was in July of August. So y'all trying to tell me you want to believe, you said and listen to the groupie say that he just started talking about me in August of 2024? You believe he just started? You go look at his channel. He's been talking about me since August of 2022 or August of 2021. And so that's to show, man, I could sit up here and break these dudes down on their lies and all of that and tear them up. But it's not worth it to me. That's what they want me to do. Mm-hmm. But go look. I'm just telling you the lie right now. That text that John sent to him was regarding Gene Deal, not his groupie ass. We weren't even thinking about him.
Yeah.
So the text was sent regarding Gene Deal in August of 2024. The reason why me and Art had some problems was because he tried to strike me over a video that I gave him the answers to, the questions to, regarding James responding to Timmy Rue. It had nothing to do with no Gene Deal, or it had nothing to do with no fucking groupie. I could give a fuck about a groupie. He didn't even care what I did with the groupie. I got texts where I can show where he called the groupie. I don't even know why you keep addressing that guy. And he was talking bad about the groupie. And so that's just the groupie trying to rail up and insert himself in the stuff. But I got to take, I don't know if Art want to start releasing some text messages. I hope he don't want to start doing that. Because, boy, I'll mess up a whole bunch of relationships. Because, trust me and Art used to talk daily. I looked at Art as a friend. And all of that the groupie talking about, everything that Art, no, I'm not like him. That's him whenever he go and do something or refer something to him that he had to get paid. I gave him my fucking address book and all my guys' contacts on my on the way to the hospital. So it wasn't like I was charging him for no interviews. I did not do that. The groupie does that. But I'm not going to just respond to the groupie. So y'all can stop asking me about him and his questions, because I'm not going to blow up that bum. Art is not the feds. Art's not the feds. So I'm not going to let y'all say that. Y'all got to understand, man. People ask questions. They all these questions that come out of all of our mouths, it's on us. You don't have to answer the questions if you don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not gonna say that.
Yeah. You could probably
Art
answer this. Oh, sorry.
Sugarology said financially ready. What'd you say, John? I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say somebody said that there's a excuse me, a video going viral of Michelle A's speaking voice, and that her real voice, or is that a gimmick? The squeaky.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if you ever talk to her, she talks like that. I never caught her, with a different voice. Mm-hmm. Now, the weird thing about her is when she laughs, she has a different voice, and when she sings, she has a different voice. But I really don't think that she's faking it.
Yeah,
I've been on phone calls with her for hours, and she has always talked like that. And so I don't think it's a gimmick.
Yeah. Here's a guy who's obviously a YouTube detector, or a detective. He says, "Answer my question. Did you and Keefe D have each other's personal phone numbers when Pac was killed?"
Yeah, we talked all day, every day. We were. That was my best friend. Yeah, we did all of that. But if you really listen and know anything about Reggie and Keefe D, I didn't even get Keefe D phone number until about 2015, 2016, when John and people on there was asking me, get an interview with Keefe D, do an interview with Keefe D. Mm-hmm. People that was around know. I came on the channel and asked the Bomb First family. I said, hey, do y'all want to do it? I said, I'm not giving that nigga no $500. He want $500. Mm-hmm. But if y'all want to do GoFund page, and I said, I'm not even going to ask, and there was no GoFund. I don't even know what it was. I said, but I'm not even going to ask the questions. I'll let y'all pay. Whoever want to come up with $500, and y'all can come on there and y'all can question them on a live stream with Bomb First. And then it overwhelmingly got voted down. And somebody asked me for his number. I don't know if it was Cam Capone first or Vlad. No, I guess it was Vlad. And I passed the number to Vlad, and then he started doing interviews with him. I passed the number to Art. He did interviews with him. I passed the number to Cam Capone. He did interviews with him. And they had already did some interviews on Gangster Chronicle. Not Gangster Chronicle. BET Chronicles. They had already did something, and that's when he came out and started doing interviews. Okay?
Yeah.
So no, I didn't know Keefe D.
And here's the poll that we put up on the YouTube thing 5 years ago. Should we do an interview with Keefe D? People could vote yes or no.
It had to be longer than 5 years ago because it was before I went to jail.
Okay. You know how YouTube does, so they'll round it up until it's the exact date. There's probably 6 years.
I'm sure it was sometime in 2019, earlier 2019. If you look at the date, pretty sure it was, but anyway, like you said. But it was probably sometime in like 2019. All right. What else? Okay, John, send Melvin that have you heard anything about Noble lately? No, he's been kind of quiet, huh? Haven't heard nothing.
Okay, give me a second, Reggie.
Okay. Let me ask some more. Big Red, Choke and the Muppets got nothing to make videos about when you talk sports. Yeah, I know that'll kill them, but they're gonna still make up stuff. Now they're reading the indictment paperwork, or not indictment paperwork, grand jury paperwork, and breaking that down with their opinion. These dudes are so smart. But I guess when he was sitting there in there snitching on his homeboy that he got on the stand and testified. He learned a lot of court procedures from that. So I'm sure that's where he gets all his experience from court when he was in there snitching and working with the police on his boy. But let somebody come on YouTube and say that about me, that I did that to them. But I'm the rat. I'm the snitch. But these guys are the group we got paperwork of him selling cocaine around a school, around a school. He was selling controlled substance around a playground at a school. But okay. Y'all just don't know. Y'all just better be lucky I don't do this channel by myself. That's all I got to say. I will expose all these bitch ass niggas. Cause they some broke bitch ass niggas. So what we're gonna do today, y'all? I got Melvin Farmer coming on, and he gonna talk a little bit. He got some info. He been dealing with the family and all of that. He's a Big U sympathizer. He believes Big U gonna beat this case and all of that. Yeah, okay, whatever. But he's my boy. He got some information. He's been working with Lil Durk and their family doing something. He gonna talk about that. And then he saw, I guess Charleston White did something. Where he went on Instagram talking about he didn't check in. He ain't never checked in nowhere. John, I should have told you to try to find that. If you could kind of research that while we talking.
Okay.
Somewhere where Charleston White responded saying, go ahead. What you about to say?
Oh, I was just going to say I'll mute and try to find that video.
Okay. Where Charleston White says that he never checked in anywhere. I never checked in. Well, Melvin got some footage and all of that. And he's going to talk to how he used to check in with him and how he even got footage where Charleston White admitted to checking in with him whenever he had to come to LA. So Melvin just wanted to come on. I just wanted to bring y'all somebody different to let y'all, hear a point of view for about 30 minutes. And then we'll do some more question and answering, and we may call some other people. So that's the plan for the show today. Like I said, me and John, our cameraman he's been working some special programs this week and all of that, so we didn't tape. And so we just decided, hey, we can just do some live streams and do it that way. And then we'll get back going, in the next few days. I may go do some other channels. A couple of people was reaching out, want me to come on their channel. Once you get on Vlad's channel, then everybody want to get you. Yeah. But we'll see.
Somebody did message Reggie. Don Neezy TV said, "How much for an interview, Reggie?" So maybe he can hit you up on Instagram and you guys can talk about going on there.
What up, Don Neezy TV? Yeah, you usually be always there, so hit me up on IG. If y'all notice, I be on a lot of small channels a lot, because if you're trying to grow your channel, I believe in coming helping. For whatever I can do, bring exposure to you. They generally don't do no views anyway, but I'll try to help you. And you always over here, either you saying something good or bad, and so we'll work out something. And so yeah. But if y'all type my name in, y'all notice I've been doing a lot of interviews with some smaller channels, and that's just because they showing respect, and I'll try to give it in return and help them out. Because I believe we're not in competition. We're here to, just try to get the word out. Yep. You should talk about how you snitched on the Grape Street Crips. Well, if there's any evidence of that, and if you can get somebody all out, let one of them come and say I said something like that. But that's just you, probably some bum from another country or something like that want to troll. So bring some evidence of that. Or you get one of them to say that. Bet you can't. I have a blog. I share works from home and opportunities. Good. Respect. Keep up the good work. Yeah. Yeah. We got there's an interview with Han Jing that you need to listen to that explain how Del Rey became a platinum artist. You'll be really amazed. Okay. Melvin haven't responded to you? Did
No,
you send it to him?
there was 2 numbers on the contact, so I'm going to send one to the other number because I'm thinking maybe I sent it to the wrong one.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
Would you do an interview for $200? Um, come on. Like I said, let me see what you're doing and what you're working with, and more than likely, I do them for free. If you ask any of the guys on here that got small channels, but of course, I'm not going to nobody's channel to have, that's making good money that has big numbers to do interviews for free. But if you trying to build your channel, Reg is not about the money, but whatever. Uh, why haven't y'all been dropping daily content? Well, I just explained it a little bit earlier, Frey, but I know you're not being disrespectful. Our cameraman right now, and he's actually out working at the big festival that's going out here in Coachella, and so we gave him the weekend off so he can go and do that. He had a big gig out there doing some stuff out there, so yeah. Point blank, let's get rid of Alex Alonso. I mean Alex Lyndhurst. I'm sure that's his faggot ass.
Okay.
Have you been in San Bernardino? Uh, San Bernardino County. Matter of fact, I may be in San Bernardino County tomorrow. Reggie paid me $500 to interview you. Yeah. You stay in your lane and I'll stay in my lane. How about that? You keep doing what you're doing. You go and do that cleanup on aisle 8, and I'll just do here, and I'll do right here, and I'll show you how to generate $500 just for talking for about 2 hours. All right, Reggie, why are you mad at Alex? Not Alex Alonso. I talking about Alex Lyndhurst. That's this troll this faggot from the UK. Hey Reggie, have you seen the LA Times article about pesticles and weed, pesticides and weed dispensaries when you were in the business? That was a big thing. That was a big issue. Yeah, that was a big issue. If
What
you
they
knew when you know the
spray chemicals to try to make them grow faster or something?
pesticides and all of that, yeah,
Yeah.
they always have them, but generally, shit, I want to believe fire kills off everything. You help the homeless, okay? You probably live down there with them. You probably is homeless. There's always homeless people always trying to help homeless motherfuckers. Because that's your way of peaching off of them and living down there. I'm going to jail. Okay, I know. Your homeless people tell you that? One of the homeless people told you that, Valley Ray? Okay.
LaShawn says, why do you need a cameraman? There doesn't need to be somebody to interview you. They really got you gassed up. Well, if you understood about properly setting up and doing interviews, there's more than just a camera on a tripod. You got to set up the lighting. You got to set up the audio correctly. You got to make sure it still stays in frame and in focus when there's movement moving forward or backwards. But if you try to do YouTube, you'll see it's not as easy as it looks. It does look easy, but it's not that easy.
And it's all about taste, how you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I have did them both. I did the interview style, and then I have did 3 or 4 years where I just set up and just talk on a live stream. I have taken calls. I've done it this way. Me and John have done it all type of ways. So uh, it's all about your taste. No, I would never interview Charleston White. I think he's a clown. Kill you, Reggie, you killed Tupac. Yep. Okay. Okay, sure. Mhm.
Just joking.
That's not even funny. I know it's not even funny. I don't even know why people think stuff like that is funny. That's why they really need to have an education. They need to have a quiz where people could take this, just to see if they really mentally ill or not. They really need that. Hey, do you believe? Hold on, John. Let me call on.
Okay.
Let me call that point.
Okay.
Okay.
Channels. That's good, Reggie. Good looking out for other channels like that. One day, hopefully, you and Suge will get on good terms. and get him on ball first. I think that would be a good look. They've definitely been on good terms, on and off, as they have. But yeah, hopefully one day. Get rid of these trolls. Yeah, it's impossible. It's impossible to get rid of them all. People can create a YouTube account in 3 seconds nowadays. So getting rid of somebody, they'll just create another account and come back. I'm just going to answer ones that. There you go. Okay, Reggie's back.
Okay. Yeah, he's on his way. He up there talking about he just gave live birth, take some woman having live birth on Skid Row.
Oh,
He probably down there working with hey, maybe that fool, who was that fool just talking about? He worked with homeless people. Valley Ray.
Yeah.
He probably down there with Valley. Yeah. I turned in. Okay, well, when Melvin gets here, you can come, Mr. Perez. And if you don't want to be here, well, then get your ass off. Come talking about I turned in here for Melvin like you got a problem with us. Nigga, I don't know who y'all think y'all fucking with. Reggie, ain't nothing on YouTube more funnier than when you and Keefy D were going back and forth. Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing that YouTube turned into entertainment for people and not just trying to get a story or get the facts out. Yeah, that was the unfortunate thing about all of this. Yeah. Yep. Reggie, you and James take care of yourself. Lose that weight, brother. Should James look good? Yeah, I got it. You know me. When you're not mobile, it's hard to keep this weight off you. As mobile as you should be, but I'm getting back mobile, so hopefully it'll be okay. But James looked good. I hadn't seen James in about at least 3 months, and I saw him on Vlad the other day, and I if he wouldn't have told me he was purposely trying to lose weight and take the right stuff, I would have been worried about him. But I know he's making a conscious effort to get his health right. Yeah. The Big Slice drop his book. Not yet. Not yet. No, Melvin, man. I forget about the old school people. They have a hard time learning how to do so. So Melvin probably having a hard time getting on, but we'll see in a minute. I'm sure he'll get on. He down there running. Melvin, if y'all don't know anything about Melvin, he's a talker. And so I'm gonna have to eventually cut him off because he can't talk. But I just talked to him, so he should be coming on. He said he's trying to figure out how to log on. Third Eye TV, how you feel about Big U using extortion money from the feds? I haven't known of too many nonprofit organizations that hasn't really didn't take advantage of their situation. I'll put it that way. You hear of a lot of nonprofit organizations that usually gets them. That's why I don't even like to do GoFunds and stuff. I like to just give the money straight to people. But it's unfortunate, a lot of people don't like to use GoFund. Y'all don't know GoFund takes a big percentage of the money that that's delivered or given. They take a percentage, so it's unfortunate that that's how things go. Reggie, do you think the walls were closing in on Wack and the feds bailed him out like a man? Yeah, I don't believe Wack 100 is a fed or a an informant like a lot of y'all believe. Y'all gotta understand if you working with the government, the last thing you can do is be giving people warning and telling people that they're on their way to come and get you. That's the last thing they want to hear when they know they telling you and investigating. They pretty much, when you go to the grand jury, they tell you if you talk about this before Anything that's questioned or anything asked, you are guilty of a crime. If you even mention it, that what they ask you or the questions, you're going to be like, yeah, I went and talked to the grand jury. But if you said, I told the grand jury X, Y, and Z before it comes out, you are guilty of a crime and can go to jail for that. So a lot of things y'all be accusing people of being rats and informants of, it just don't make good sense, because let something happen to, if they told me right now that they about to go and raid No Jumper. I had a police contact or a friend that told me, hey, we're raiding No Jumper tomorrow. And I come online and say, hey, No Jumper's about to get raided tomorrow, gonna get raided tomorrow. No Jumper, hey, whack, you better not be up there No Jumper tomorrow, because they're gonna get raided. And God forbid they go and do a raid. And God forbid somebody get hurt, get shot or something like that. Do you know you'll be accessory to a murder? Do you know you'll go to jail for accessory to a murder? So they let informants commit crimes on a regular. They don't look.
Just so you know, Melvin's on now.
Okay. They don't go after you. They don't go after you, maybe, but they don't just let you. But as I always tell y'all, a cop, once they get tired of you, and that's why I always tell y'all about being a snitch and an informant and all that. That cop that you've been an informant or a snitch for may not be the one to come and arrest you. But when you all used up, I never known one of them that didn't have one of their homeboys or somebody else going to arrest them and have them arrested for something else. That's all the game y'all gonna get from me today. Melvin Farmer, OG Melvin, Big Mel, welcome to Bomb First again. Or welcome back, I guess.
What's up, Bomb on first? Yeah, Bomb first. We always popping. What's up, Reg? What we got going
not
on?
Much. Man, I just I've been talking to you on back and forth on Texas and stuff like that, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna do a show and let Melvin come on and talk and give us all of this game.
Yes, sir.
I saw, and I don't know if John found it, but I saw something where that fool Charleston White, your friend, the guy you brought to LA and all of that, said something about he ain't never did no checking in. And I said, well, I could have sworn I saw a video where Melvin Farmer, and he said that he'd be checking in. Tell me about that, Melvin.
That was about that's when he was going up under Nate Turner. And he came out here and came up to St. Andrews Park. And you seen the video where he said, yeah, I come in to check in with Melvin Farmer. He the only one that don't glorify gangs, and I had to meet him and stuff like that. So that's when he came. But like I say, a lot of people, this is a state where you don't this is not an open carry state. And people have the wrong misconceptions about being out here until you get here. Then it's a difference, and you can't adjust to that when you're in a state where you can open carry, you got to stand your grounds right and all that. Now you got to come to a state where you check your guns in, actually, when you come to this state. So many get up in trouble.
You're talking about California. You're talking about the state of California, right?
The state of California. We're not an open carry state, and that's very important. You can't come to this state. Law enforcement can't protect you in the clubs. Nobody. So you always got to gravitate towards the streets and those that, I'm sorry to say, do scrupulous things without gun control. That's just how it is. You know how they go, Reggie. So that's when I met him. And then he was there. You seen another video. He talk about how he got the Nipsey Hussle. He never knew about Nipsey Hussle until he got into the going home at the what was that? The Forum. I got him in there. I came in there with it was me, Gang.
It was actually the Staples Centers at the time.
Yeah, that's what it was. The Staples Center.
Yeah, it's called something else now. Crypto.com.
Crypto Arena, but at that time it was Staples Center. In fact, I was there with Black Sam when they all walked in. That was me standing right there. Gang was on the side. Then I went back there. You know, Cap that works with Farrakhan that died recently in
Yeah, yeah.
Chicago. So
Shaheed Muhammad, Captain Muhammad.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Then I went back there with them on the side. So that wasn't true about that. All that stuff about them dudes was talking this. He was there at LA Gangs Unite. So all that's a facade, and it's
So
no big thing. We doing what we doing.
what made you get on him? What made you start talking about this lately? What you had heard him say something recent that pissed you off, or you
No,
just
I
thought
ain't
about it?
never, like I said, well, no, I'm not even tripping that. We doing what we doing. But he opened his mouth, ran his mouth. He's a fake. He ain't doing nothing for the community. And he talked disrespectful to blacks and about guys he met through me. And he didn't lie on them. So that put me in a position to where, it is what it is. It's between me and him. You know, we'll cross paths and he can do what he do. Either you gonna bow down and say I was lying, or else we got a problem. It's simple as that, Reggie. Simple as that.
Got you. So I noticed you've been going to trial and been working with Lil Durk family. What's up with that?
Well, I got I'm a credible messenger, where we are connected all across every 7 continents or however many continents. And I
It's
work
only
with
seven.
credible
It's only
messengers.
seven. It's only
Well,
seven.
that's how I don't know, but that's how many we located on. And he's, I guess, from what I've been told and talked to through the communications, is a member of Credible Messengers I mess with out of New York. By the way, you have members like King Tone of the Latin King. He's a credible CM3. Antonio Tesla from the Luciano Gambino crime family. Junior, his father is a Gemini killer, 51 murders for the Luciano family. He's a member. In particular, by Sheer, that's who I'm in contact with, where they had picked a I man from here to where they wanted me to arrange through its father and family for them to go down there from Los Angeles to check on his spiritual and health and mental health and well-being. So I went down to the federal building. In fact, the day after I went to court at Big U arraignment, we was down there for Little Dirt because he wasn't also, because he's a Muslim, he wasn't getting all of the rights afforded to him in there. So we also made sure that he was getting his food and everything because that was during the ending of Ramadan. So
Got
that's
you.
how that went. And his father also supports Put the Guns Down, the World Epidemic, that we produced a movie where quite a few of them, their sons are in there for senseless gun violence. And they're showing their support to older ones that, regardless of the outcome of the trials or whatever, they still don't condone violence in any way. And that's another thing I want to touch on, Reg, is our documentary is a cause-driven film where we touch on the aftermath, not only just the suspect, as Lil Dirt, Big U, and other ones, but also the family members, the victims, the mothers, the fathers, and the witnesses and stuff like that, along with mental health. So it's very important that they support this documentary that'll be premiering May the 7th on Peacock, Apple TV, Amazon, and it's one more I can't remember, but it's May 7th for the release.
And say the name again.
Put the Guns Down, a World Epidemic, written, directed, and produced by Terry C. Carney. Ice-T is the executive producer. It's a hour and 37-minute film. We won 53 awards, film festival awards, Cannes Film Festival, and so forth, Monterey, and so forth. And it's being well received. And we also go to the schools with a panel of victims, parents, and stuff that have lost their loved ones also. So that starts May the 7th on the premiere of that. But it's been 5 years that we started this project and just now come to fruition.
Oh, okay. I noticed you must have a great relationship with Ice-T because I remember you worked on that show for Ice-T with when he did it with
Critical Concept. That was Don Skorowski who had introduced Nipsey Hussle and Big U to the game. He does those documentaries. That's one of the tops, and we had worked together on Fox. Yeah, you talking about when we did the Who Killed Nipsey Hussle, Biggie Small Fox special right after Nipsey. Yeah, but I knew Ice-T where we worked on another project called We All in the Same Game. When I was a member of Grand Jury Records, when it was Ice-T, MC Hammer, Michelet, Jewel, Tone, Loc, Above the Law, Trey 5-7, Digital Underground, Omni, Young MC, Dr. Dre did the beat. So I had a relationship, and I went to school with Ice-T. Went to Crenshaw also when I was attending Crenshaw when he came out here. So I got a long history with Ice-T. Ice-T, most of them on the West Side. I got a history with them. I watched their career through Michael Conception. That's Henry Lamar's uncle and Top Dog Entertainment. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Tell us some stories about Michael Conception. A lot of people don't know about him, and I know you you worked with Michael Conception for a long time back in the day.
Yeah, well, Michael Conception, actually, me and Michael Conception had started off together in the ninth grade. Well, he was at Henry Clay. I was at Horace Mann checking in for Bret Hart the eighth grade when I met Michael Conception. And at that time, he was walking before later on in life he would end up getting paralyzed. But at the age of 15, Michael Conception, Barefoot Pookie, Lavelle Froston, Philip McCain, they all were arrested. 3 of them were convicted of murder of killing Douglas Green, a rival gang member. That's when we were 15. That happened June of 1972. So at 15, Michael Conception had been convicted of murder. In fact, it's the mayor Inglewood's Mayor Butts' brother. And it's ironic that Mayor Butts have 50 Cent, Crip Walker, Snoop, and everybody that's representing gangs. But when we were 15, he was talking to us about what happened to his brother. So then Michael went and did a couple of years after that conviction, and all of them did a couple of years, got out, and then Michael started doing his thing, hustling in the streets. Then he got shot, and that's when the game changed. Michael went from that, and also his mother died of cancer. So one day we'd sitting around and say, Mel, me, him, Hot Dog, that ended up being Half Ounce father, that the rapper that was slain out of Inglewood Bloods in the Koreatown, same time PNB Brock. That's his father later on in life, but back then he wasn't even born, the young man. And so Mike said, Mel.
Wait a minute, hold on. So you said PNB Rock is from out here? His family?
No, PNB Brock had got killed at the same time that Half Ounce got killed. That's the murder that happened in Koreatown. Okay. So, but that Hot Dog who was there would be Half Ounce father later on in life. He wasn't even born then. This early in the game when we were thinking of going into the record business. In fact, it was Michael's idea, and he said, Mel, I got an idea,
come and pick me up. He said, come and pick me up and put me on your back.
No, we had been doing that even before that happened. When Mike didn't have no wheelchair or nothing, and he was going out, we would carry Mike on our back when he didn't have all that he had now. I was with Mike where I don't have his nuts hanging on my back, where he had like a backpack on my back. Me, him, Steve. That's how
I'm making a joke. I was just making a joke. I was just
no, but it's true. Then he started parking lot pimping. We started going to the clubs, and he started meeting the executives up in there. And that's when he'd say, hey, Mel, don't get in no trouble. we gonna get into the rap game and get some money. And that's how they developed We All in the Same Game. And then what you call them came out with nothing but self-destruction. Then after that, Mike just started blowing up. And also a lot of people don't know Tookie was married to his sister, Michelle.
Mm,
That's his brother-in-law. He got
I
one
didn't
of the
know that.
rare pictures. Yeah, that's Tookie's brother-in-law. At the time that Tookie got arrested, he was with Michael Conception and they crew. So Tookie is also one of Michael's his brother-in-law, and quite a few of them. And then Michael started off with Teddy Riley. He worked 6 years for
Yeah.
Teddy Riley, New Jack Swing. He got Black Street Side, and you
One
had
of
a
the
trio that.
one of
Mhm.
the biggest songs he had, one of his biggest songs that he was executive producer of was this guy named Rome that a lot of people forget
Yeah,
about.
that's
I remember.
Rome and Silky Fine, just like Romeo and Juliet, Hot Sex on a
Yeah.
Platter, Gonna Make You Sweat. Yeah,
Yeah.
he had Rome, he had B2K, he had
Well, that's
MC
because of his
Hammer.
relationship with Christo. Him and Christos are still tight to this day. Yeah.
Yeah, him and Chris Stokes, Jimmy Iovine, but Teddy Riley put him in the game. Teddy Riley, after 6 years, because you had Missy Elliott, Timberland, and Magoo. They were a trio, and they wasn't
Mhm.
even known. They were in the backdrop. You had Blackstreet. You had Guy. They called Michael Ian. He made the deal in New York. And then Teddy Riley introduced him to Russell Simmons next. Then that's when he got in the game where Russell trusted him for 2 years. And then after that, he went on down the line. He met Jimmy Iovine, and when we would go to Capitol Records or something where they would meet up, Mike would always go in that room by himself. Always go in that room by
Yeah,
himself.
you
So
meant
Mike,
Interscope Records. Interscope, not
well,
Capitol, but
yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
went to Capitol too. No, I don't know
Yeah.
about no. We was at Capitol too. He
Yeah, because
had a
most of his deals were
hotel where
done
they,
with Jimmy at Interscope. But yeah, okay, go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, but we was meeting at Capitol with other executives too. I didn't get
Gotcha.
in that game. I didn't like
Yeah.
hip hop. I'm Rob, and that's why they told me don't get in trouble. They were
Yeah.
pimping and doing all this hustling, selling drugs, and I wasn't doing that. I didn't like the hip hop game. I didn't like selling dope. I was doing robbing shit or taking something down, and they always tell me hang out, and that's the difference. I never asked Mike for a dime. But I don't
Yeah.
seen him every step of the way to where we get it, because I've been with him through thick and thin. So we hear a
Exactly.
lot of misconception about Mike. And another thing, Mike gives so much back to the community. He'll buy buildings, they burn them up or put graffiti on them. He donates scholarship. There's a lot of them that do stuff that you never really hear about. But Mike is the last man standing out of everybody from P. Diddy to Puffy. You know them all. He the last one standing. Ain't
Yeah.
no doubt about that.
Hey, let's talk a little bit about the Big U situation. So I know you got a lot. I know you've been talking to the family. So I know there's a lot you can't say because you don't want to betray their trust. But just tell us what your opinion is on everything with the Big U, the players in it, something about all the guys that got arrested. Just talk on that situation for us. Did we freeze up?
Yeah, you might have froze.
Okay. Mel, Fairs didn't want you talking about that. Mel?
Okay,
Uh,
he's about to drop. So, but he may come back in, and if he does,
oh
I'll
yeah,
just
trust me, he gonna come back.
okay.
If you think I like to talk, oh my god,
He loves talking.
oh
What
my
happened,
god.
Reg?
Oh,
All
here we
right,
go.
man, go ahead. I was asking you to give us some update on the Big U situation. I know you are cool with the family and all that, so whatever you can tell us about that and give us some updates, we appreciate.
Well, I went to court at the first arraignment just to see actually what was going on. And like they had said, they hadn't really unsealed the indictment. And but I know Big U, his rise since he been a young man, way back since he was 15. But I also know quite a few of his family members because they're members of our church,
Yeah,
River Life Ministry, where I'm a prison ministry coordinator there, where quite a few of Big U's family members go there, including his father, who, contrary to what I thought, had been born, raised out here, and would know things about his family, his son. But
He a
that's not the
Mississippi boy,
case.
right? Huh? He Mississippi,
He's
right?
born in Mississippi. And I say,
Yeah.
so you telling me you only been in Mississippi and you've never really been or really know nothing about none of this? He said, yes, sir. And I talked to the man 30 minutes. The matriarch, he had 40 family members there. And when you go into court, it's a pardon of the Red Sea. You've been in there, Reggie, with all the undercover police,
Yeah,
all
on
white,
one
the
side. They
FBI
on one
on one
side
side, and you
and the
had a
family on the
trio.
other.
You had a trio of 40 family members. None of them looked like gang members. You had an NFL player there, his son. You had Lil Draws. You had his a wife. You had family members. You had his lawyer, who, by the
I
way,
heard they
is in
all
a
were dressed in
wheelchair.
black. I heard everybody was dressed in black and holding hands and stuff, right?
No, they wasn't dressed in black, but they wasn't
Oh,
dressed in designer stuff. They were dressed. In fact, I got a few photos. I'll tell you exactly how they were dressed. Like normal kids in school, corduroys, no brand graffiti, no slogan, no designer stuff. In fact, I would say 90% of them was wearing black sold products. Nothing
yeah,
fancy. Looked like a normal family. And all his father kept saying to me was, every time he just can, he coming home. That's pretty much all he said was, he coming home, and that he had. I say, you don't stay here in California, and he said, why would I stay in California? Mississippi is my home, and that's when
yeah.
I realized that. But also, I talked to their family after they had said that Big U had got in a fight and they were getting into it. I think I was talking to you, Red, when
Yeah,
WAC 100 called in while we were discussing it. And they
yeah,
said the things that you're hearing out there is misinformation as far as what's going on
correct.
uh, in the Metropolitan
I think
Detention
even
Center.
the attorney, the U.S. attorney in their brief put in there that wasn't no fight, and they were lying about a fight in there and all of that. That there was no fight or no incidents. So yeah,
Right. And they told me to tell you don't believe all the misinformation that be going on there. But back to about Big U and Dirt. I went down there one day for Little Dirt, where we took the eye man, and we're still in the process of making it where he can go see as a representative of this community, make sure it's well being right, because he only get a visit on a Sunday, whereas Big U and the other ones might not get a visit, but on Saturday, as you know. So we're trying to make it to where we can make it as
is that
pleasurable.
his
In
audio or
fact,
ours, John?
no, that's my audio.
Yeah.
Okay,
hmm hmm We
okay.
just, like I was telling you, we just had a birth of a child right here on the streets where
Yeah, you
everybody
told
is
me that
filming.
you saw childbirth, huh?
Yeah, they had a lady at the birth of a child right here on the street where she birthed it herself. And it should be on the news
Is
in a
she
minute.
homeless? Is she homeless or she was just down there
Yeah, she
visiting?
was homeless. She was down here homeless, been here. Everybody knew her. She disappeared. And everybody said, dang, she looked pregnant. And she came back and she had a baby, delivered it right here. And they just took the baby, but the baby won't go with the mother. Cute little healthy baby. Uh,
Oh,
uh, a Latino woman had. And
okay.
also, speaking about Big U and speaking of Latinos, there was a person I met at the court whose husband had been arrested in Big U's case. And she didn't even know Big U, or her husband knew Big U. And they had been arrested where they allegedly supposed to have sold him weapons, and he got deported. In fact, WAC 100 talked to her, and she just had a 6 month old baby, and they deported or are deporting his father.
Hello. Okay.
Yeah, we'll give it a minute.
Yeah.
Our documentary, and we also addressing mental health or whatever you want to talk to. What else, Red?
Oh, okay. So we talked about that. We talked about Little Dirt. Shit, with the movie, that was the main thing I wanted to get you on to talk about your show that's coming on, because I know that's a big
Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Well,
you got go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
anything else that you got that you want to close up on, you can. I just want to
Oh,
get you on. I
hey,
just like
hey.
people to hear from you.
Okay, hey, Reg. Let's talk about a little bit about the law, and let's talk a little bit about Gunner and that Alfred plea, because people seem to get that and won't let nobody really explain it. And I don't know because I don't watch social media, but I know during that time they were saying that Gunner snitched. That's impossible, like I was saying on Clubhouse, to be a snitch up under Alfred plea. I'm
Well, I
up
think
under
you
that
was on
Alfred.
exposure. You was on the exposure show, but go ahead. They
Yeah,
call it the
whatever it
exposure
was.
show. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. But anyway, like I was saying, yeah, I don't know the name of it. I don't
I
watch
know
no
you don't.
social
I know you
media.
don't. I know
Mhm.
you don't.
Or
Yeah.
nothing else. So I get it from y'all. But it's very important. You can't plead and tell anything up under Alfred plea. All you're gonna do is say, yes, do you plead guilty? And what they're gonna do, they're gonna give you stipulations that's gonna hinder you from either. You can't get sued. You can't sue nobody. The defendant, you the defendant, and the plaintiff can't get no a civil suit. You can't do nothing, like in a O.J. Simpson where he got found not guilty of the murder, but he still got sued by the plaintiff. Up on the Alfred plea, you're saying that you did not commit the crime, but because of a preponderance of evidence where you're probably going to get found guilty anyway, even though you didn't do it, you cop out. And usually you won't go to jail. Or you're going to get something in my case where I had to take an 83-year sentence or risk not being out and getting a life sentence. So it puts a lot of pressure on you, but usually that means you don't got the police in a position to where they have to offer you that because they'll be exposed for some type of illegal activity that went on during the course of the investigation. That usually is a way out for everybody.
Gotcha.
Mhm. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
Well,
so mhm.
well, go back out there and continue saving babies as you just did. Yeah, and you filmed us. You just saw the birth of a
And
child.
also,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
and also, man, we're doing a lot for the homeless to where Netflix and a lot of them filming. We're gonna be on Real Tune to where we provide the essentials, food, clothing, housing. It's a very big issue here. It's a lot of mental health. We're doing a lot of things where the Department of Justice is now investigating the homelessness and the crisis. We have the Olympics coming out. So it's a lot of violations that are occurring with people that have mental health, where we are out here as advocates for those that are in these marginalized communities, not only here, but across the nation, to where we're doing the things that we can do to help them relieve some of the stress that they are going through, as well as others. So I want to thank everybody for tapping in and
Man, no,
continue
we
following
appreciate
us.
you and
Okay,
all your
bro.
knowledge, man. Every time I talk to you, Melvin, I learn something. You're a very, very well spoken man. And I love what you do. You're always trying to help the people. You be trying to help people in the criminal justice system and what you're always doing with helping people with the homelessness. And I got
All
to
right.
tip my hat off to you and keep up the great work, Mel.
Okay, and it's one more thing I'm gonna leave y'all with Big U case that you keep an eye on.
Okay.
Big U has enough information to where now you fit to see that money don't count, because money couldn't bail him out. It didn't that he had money, all his assets got frozen. But this is what you have to remember. Big U was getting funding from a lot of political elected officials, as well as professional athletes and other things. I know a lot that the young man been doing, what he was doing, and I know the playing field. So don't count Big U out. I don't have 2 life sentences. Not saying he won't get found guilty, but don't count him out to where he might have enough information to where he wouldn't and turned himself in too easily. You know, the catching would have had to come before the hanging with me. So I'm looking at it from another side that, there's other options than to just go and lay up in there. And I think Big U has enough information to where he might can make it talk his way up out of there or do what he
You
got
saying
to
he gonna
do.
snitch his way out, Melvin? Is that what you saying?
No, I'm gonna say this. It ain't but two ways you're gonna get out. Either your ass coming out in the pine box, or your ass gonna tell them something pertinent to get your ass where you can walk out. So they go back to what I'm saying. You fit to find out. Information could be more important than money in this case, where he can walk right out with an ankle bracelet and go to the witness protection. I'm saying he got that much
Do you
power
condone?
and information.
Do you condone that?
Condone what?
If he
I'm like
elects to
this.
take that way out,
Well, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna say this because it ain't gonna make no difference in my opinion. But I'm gonna just go by the rules I play by. You do the crime, you do the time. Simple
and
as
you
that.
have done that,
Now,
so you can definitely say that. Yeah,
that's what I can say.
yeah.
You do the crime, you do the time. So that speaks for itself. But also, you have to also look at it whether it's friend, family, foe, suspect, victim, or witness. Everybody has rights that need to be adhered to. Simple. Or else, how you gonna pick and choose and be a fair arbitrator? I don't look at it as a crip blood, big you.
What do you think about the mother that's been crying on social media like she has?
Well, I ain't looked at the mother, but I've been seeing mothers cry for 50 years when you see this movie. She won't be the first, she won't be the last. So she needs to support this. Like we doing where we've been talking about the cry of a mother. Where in this video, in this film we have, you'll hear me say, I've been listening to the howl of a mother at that tape since really I watched Mayor Butt's mother cry in 1972. That is the first murder. And I've heard them every year, every day. So I'd say condolences, and we're not condolences, but we're also bringing awareness to what about the people that nobody had nothing to do with it. All of them, we're praying for them and let it happen to where it don't happen again. Let's not isolate it. The family of Big U got nothing to do with it. They family got nothing to do with it, or anybody. But let's just, bring awareness to the acts of senseless gun violence. That's why we say put the guns down, a world epidemic from elementary school halls to Senate walls to these streets of Los Angeles and all over. Why don't we fall back and have a discussion on the aftermath before they happen, and let's try to prevent these things from happening. This is not an aberration of where this just happened. There's a whole lot of shit going on. I can name other brothers that were the Rolex bandit that were robbing and doing all that. But it also go back to this state and its attitude, Reggie. This is not an open carry state. So you can't come here or live here trying to be a solid citizen because I'm sorry to say, when you're out here, there is no retirement, Reggie. You got people that's always at your head. Even you, that just come with the territory.
Yeah.
So what you gonna do? Pack your ass or tuck your tail? It's simple as that, bro. Simple as that. They try to make a mountain out of molehill, but we don't hear none of them up here talking. They just talk about each other. Let's talking about what you're doing for the community, and let's see what you're doing. And a lot of them ain't doing nothing. So we're trying to get with those that are like-minded and do what we do. Simple.
Peace, Melvin. Thank you.
Peace. Later.
All right, brother.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right.
Okay.
Peace.
All right. So that's my boy Melvin Farmer, a good dude. Like I said, very knowledgeable. Very knowledgeable guy. Quite didn't understand what he was saying towards the end. I hope he wasn't condoning snitching to get out of this case, but I'm sure that's not what he meant, because he has did a lot of prison time, and generally guys that been in the prison and did a lot of times like that, they're not about that. And so I think maybe I'm misunderstanding him, or he wasn't articulating himself well. But 9 times out of 10, I'm misunderstanding him. So yeah. Well, yeah. We got any more questions? I see we got a couple of the groupie trolls in here, and but that's all good. Appreciate y'all as well, because like I said, we get paid when you guys come and give us views as well. But yeah, let's see. Any other subjects we need to address, John? Let's see.
I'm looking through the
Glad
comments.
to see my boy Airpods from the UK. Glad you was able to catch one. That's why me and John tried to do a little earlier one to make it a little UK friendly and Australia friendly. Our boys over there in Australia. So Reggie and John, what's up? What was his dog personality like? He seemed to be quiet, very low key. He was able to do tattoos and artwork. Was a drawer, but he was a writer as well as I hear. Uh, but he was real cool dude. You would have enjoyed him. Y'all would have liked him. Doesn't speak much. Most of the dudes from the mob area that we grew up, now thinking about it, didn't speak much. Trayvon and maybe Heron and James were about the most talkative ones. Because Buntry didn't talk much. Neckbone didn't talk at all. He had very little to say. Yeah, so most of the guys wasn't really major talkers, to be honest. Say outlaw royalties. What that mean? I don't know what that mean, man. Change your conscience. It's time for it to come out. DOC was writing almost every lyric for Dr. Dre, yes. But Corrupt did most of the stuff for Snoop. But for Dre, yes. Yes. Devon Tizzle, 92.
Mhm.
Did Heron and G always bump heads growing up? No, not to my knowledge. Heron was from another side of the track. Heron actually lived on the west side, and he mainly ran with the Inglewood dudes a lot. G grew up. G was always around, but he was closer in the mob area, even though he was looters. But Heron didn't ever live in actually the mob. That's why it's always confusing. A lot of people always ask, was Heron looters or was Heron mob? I have personally seen Heron in a mob pinky ring, but if you would ask me, I would say he was looters. If you would have asked me, I would have said he was Cedar Block, but I know he's really looters. But I know he hung out with Inglewood dudes, and a lot of this. If y'all don't know anything about the Cedar Block Rules, they had a strong relationship with Inglewood family. It was a guy I used to be real tight with when I was working at jail as a cop. Well, I remember when the one dude got shot at the phone booth, the little dark-skinned guy. I can't think of his name right now. He was cool with those Inglewood family dudes. I know my boy Devin was. Who was that got shot at the phone booth? A little dark dude. I can't think of his name right now. Me and him was real tight. But a dude named Melvin too. Melvin that was he claimed Cedar Block, but he ran with those Inglewood families. Yeah. I'm getting old because I didn't forget all of that stuff. But yeah, that was up with Heron and G. Reggie, are you and Trey on better terms now? We haven't spoke. We haven't talked. It'll be interesting. I know somebody's going to die, and where I'm going to have to go to their funeral, and Trayvon going to feel like he has to go, and Timmy and and James, my boy Bob Gotti, all of us it's going to be somebody that we all close to, and that's where we usually all go see each other at again. So hey, it is what it is. I heard Eazy-E got one of those JJ Fad girls on Ruthless, maybe Michelet too. Yeah, I don't know much about Ruthless, man. Reggie, are you going to do an interview with Flacco? We did. We did one. We did an interview with Flacco Thursday. Frey Leo. He was on the live stream with us Thursday. Let's not forget Morgan and Morgan Law Firm. You know what? Get rid of that fool. I'm tired of Jaime Myers. He's just trolling. He can take his ass to somewhere else and troll.
Okay.
But yeah, Morgan and Morgan will be back up when we do our videos, when we do our daily videos. So y'all can keep listening to the broke clowns that only get 2,000-3,000 views. Keep listening to them. Do you think No Jumper's over? No, no, no. No Jumper's not over. They're not over. I really think he's just trying to get his subscribership up. And a lot of people can go and do it. Probably since he did those things where he said he's going to do special things for you if you pay $99 and do this. I bet you got about 5,000 to 10,000 people that signed up for that. And if you just think if you get 5,000 people, he got 6 million subscribers, right? Or 5 million. If you get 3%, generally anything you do, you're going to get 3% from. So what's 3% of 5 million, John? Let's see. 10% is what? Of 5 million is 500,000. So half of 500,000 is 250.
It's
So about 175. 175 to
yeah, 5 million is 150,000.
Yeah. So if he get 150,000 people to give him $4.99 a person, look how much money that is a month. $4.99 a person at 150. What's that, John? 150,000 times.
Times $4.99.
Yes.
That would be $748,500. So
How much? No, that's too much. That's too much.
Okay.
$4.95. Just say $5.
Okay. Times
150,000. We said.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about
750,000.
750.
Yeah.
Well, he ain't gonna get that. He ain't gonna get 3%. Yeah. So just think if he only get 1%, then shit. 1% of people to sign up that are his subscribers. 1%. Look how much money he generate a month. Trust me, that's his goal, y'all. That's his goal. Even if you only get 0.5%, he get 0.5% of his subscribers to sign up for that membership. So that's what he's doing, y'all. That's what his plan is. This to get y'all to subscribe and subscribe to that membership and help out. That's just a cooler way to ask y'all to subscribe to that.
Yeah.
So that's all. Did you have any interactions with Dr. Dre? If so, what was the? I mean, they were cool. They were low key. Y'all got to remember, I am not. Especially back then, I wasn't a groupie. I mean, I was out of sight, out of mind. Whenever somebody talked to me, it was about where are we going? Can I come? Can I come inside? Where's my security at? That was all my conversations with the artists. I with the staff and stuff like that. And I'm talking about in the heyday. Now, my role changed. My role changed after 97, after Shug went to jail. It changed. And anybody tell y'all different, y'all go listen to them. And it'll be like, okay, yeah, I was mopping the floor. But y'all done heard the stories. Y'all hear the stories. Everybody say, oh yeah, Reg said or Reg did from 97 on. But the artists that y'all want to hear about, 93, 94, 95, it was just all about professional. I have never been the one to come up here and set up like I was hanging out, smoking weed, kicking it, fucking bitches, all of that with the artists. Y'all never heard me tell any stories like that. Y'all try to portray that's how I want to be. Y'all let other YouTubers try to portray me to be that way. But y'all never heard a story like that come out of my mouth, ever.
No.
Okay. Why Tupac fired you? Well, He fired me because he didn't like me. How can you fire somebody that you didn't pay, one? And then why did my security was still around me when I supposedly got fired? But y'all want to run with that narrative. Y'all want to keep that narrative going. Hey, what can I do? Two, I didn't have to be. I'm not like y'all. This Tupac, that was not me, y'all. Niggas was like Reggie, where's Reggie? Reggie, can I have? Reggie, can we? That's how it was. But y'all don't get it. Y'all don't understand it. Reggie, where's my security? Reggie, who's with me today? Hey, we going to this such a location. I need a guard there. I need a guard there. It's all business with me, y'all. But y'all want to make it like I'm coming here trying to tell like I'm everybody's best friend and homie and all of that. It wasn't like that, though. And I have never told stories like that. All right. I'll get off for Tupac. Let's see. The 90 fans know what's up, Reg. I know it. Thanks. Appreciate you saying that. The big ball cue. Thank you. Now you ain't a groupie. You have been like Daz in every photo and exactly. I'm telling y'all, I swear to God on everything. Dash used to be at video shoots before the production team was there. If y'all know anything about video shoots and all of that, you have like different stages of when people come, and usually the talent is last, because they want everything there. Usually talent and craft services. Well, craft services usually they're a little early, but the meal. Those are the last thing that usually come. And he was a straight Suge Knight groupie. I made sure Suge was good, but Suge was the bag. And so you always gonna look out for the bag. So yeah, you can call it what you want. But I bet you Suge Knight ain't never said one bad word to me to my first, still to this day. Bet you I can say that. I bet you nobody else can say that. He may throw his subliminals about Reggie, but a word to my face, yeah. And Reggie ain't never came at him like that to his face. It's the difference between fear. Y'all need to learn about fear and respect. How did Heron die? Yeah. He was killed behind some street politics, some Pyru business. Yeah. Was the dog pound at the MTV Awards? No, they didn't come out there. Something that happened with the dog pound that weekend. Now I don't know why they got some excuses, but they wasn't like that at the end. They wasn't like that at the end, but can't say in the month of July they wasn't like that because at the House of Blues everybody looked like they were cool, but it was something. Y'all just don't know some things that was going down towards the end of July that every time I speak on it, people get mad, but man, I can tell y'all some stories about people getting threatened to have their legs broken and everything. Y'all just, man, where people got phone calls and stuff was happening where, like, had that bitch call me again, her legs gonna get broken. I'm gonna have my homegirls go up there and break her legs. Yeah. Man, what's going on with Ray J, y'all? Is Ray J trying to come out of the closet? Is they trying to come out of the closet on us? Y'all hear that? What he been saying?
What is that? I didn't hear it.
Yeah. Pull it up. Get some content.
Okay. Ray J. Let's see.
Need an autograph copy of your book. Okay. Hit me on IG, Reggie Wright Jr. on IG, and we can talk the arrangements and everything. If not, it's go to Amazon and you can. Well, you can't get an autograph from Amazon. Yeah. Yeah, Melvin's already gone 96.5. He gave us about a good 45 minutes of talking. So you should be able to go back and rewind it and you should be able to get to it, brother. Thanks for tuning in. That's how it was back in the day. We used to have a female jump on a female, yo. Nowadays these dope fiends point pistols at them. Yeah, that's crazy. Harry J. Miss Diddy. Man, he making that Diddy shit sound kind of true, huh, James? You too old for IG. I got you, brother. I got you, man. I don't know. Everybody tell me the link that John has on the shop for the book, it doesn't work. So I don't know. I don't know, bro. Let's see. He had one wish. You find it, John?
No, I saw stuff from like a year ago, but nothing
No,
recent.
something recently where he talking about taking a shower with guys or some shit. He want to go to a birthday party or just type in Ray J he want to spend the night at somebody's house. See what comes up.
Oh, I found it. Okay, let me play it. Hopefully this is it. Share screen. Okay, 1 second.
That's what I mean. That's what I don't understand. Like,
but why does it equip?
y'all took showers together, right?
No, but we be separated with swimming trunks.
That's what I mean. That's what I don't understand. Like, y'all had sleepovers before, right?
Yeah, but not like that. Like,
Yeah, so no, I didn't mean it like anything. I meant it like how y'all meant it. I want to sleep over too. I want to sleep with y'all niggas too. That's how I meant it. Pause.
Is that it?
There's more to it, but that's enough.
That's the
But
gist.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with these youngsters. I don't get it. I don't know what's going on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or Wax said that he thought Ray J stole his car or something like that. I saw an Instagram post.
Well, Wack was trolling. I think he was trolling on that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see what else going on in the news out there. It was a live stream. Okay, they said it was a live stream with Kate Center or something like that.
Yeah, that's who we just showed the clip from. Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, I don't know. We're gonna pray for Ray J. Brandy responded to him about something. She got on you, which I was glad. Did you know the white cop that shot the black cop in a road rage? Where? That's one thing about people say no vacation. We're talking about if you listen, you'll see at the beginning. We were talking about the cameraman and stuff like that, and I was talking about a vocation from being on YouTube with the with doing the taping the way we normally do it. Yeah. No, what's wrong with Ray J? I know, huh? Yeah, I didn't like that. And I call that out. I call stuff like that out. I know I got relationships with people that got relationships with Ray J, but I don't tolerate this gay shit. I don't tolerate it. I'm anti it. I don't even like people that play with it. It's no. I don't like it. I'm sorry. Guess I'm gay. Because I can't stand it. Everybody say you don't like it because you don't, yeah, whatever. Reggie, I know you got a relationship with the PJ Watts Crips, but did you and James ever befriend any Compton Crips when you were younger? And oh yeah, I played football and everything with, I mean, mainly basketball, like baseball. I'm sorry, at Kelly Park with a bunch of them, with a bunch of Kelly Park Crips, South Sides and in Hoods. They mainly was over there at this park, Kelly Park. My grandmother actually, my other grandmother, one grandmother lived in the mob. I grew up in the mob. Then my other grandmother grew up. She stayed right next door to this Chicano gang named the CCGs with Lefty and Edgar and all of them. But it was really in the area of Kelly Park. It was kind of a mixture, though, to be honest. Kelly Park, War Lanes, and all of that, Crips. But yeah. So no, I was always grew up with both sides. And my grandfather had a church. Most of his people did come from PJ Watts, but it was right down the street. It was a Ward and Alondra, which was a Crip area. So a lot of the in hoods and all of their mothers and all of that went to my grandfather's church. So yeah, my cousin used to have a relationship with Ray J back in 07, and he had to stop messing with him. Yeah. Yeah. Yo, Reggie, you heard of Butler Block? Yeah, the Butler Blocks. Yeah, that was right around the corner. 600 North, 600 South Butler. Compton Crip over there by the mob. Well, you said over there by the mob. No, Butler was over there, 600 South Butler. Really over there by the closer to Atlantic Drive and Kelly Park. Yeah, that's what Butler's at. Butler Street. Butler Street was right across around the corner from Harris. My other grandmother lived on Harris Street. A good lawyer would have got Suge out of that. You know, Carlos, what the problem was with Suge was he had 3 cases at the time. And he already had 2 strikes. And so in California, they had that 3-strike law where they had three cases that if they would have just got him a felony on one of those 3, he would have had 25 to life. Oh, you say in between San Vicente and Saunders. San Vicente and Saunders? The Vente? Oh, you talking about the county area there. You must be talking about over there near going towards Atlantic. Because the Butler, you over there in the county area of Compton. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, I'm not typing the questions in today, so I guess Ray J on some pills. He on something. He tripping. He's tripping. Thank you for speaking on it. Yeah. Yeah, that was the problem with Suge. They had 2 different felony cases that they could have got him on. Don Z TV. I used to get my Herb on Harris. Yep, probably right next door to my grandmother. 605. They were the Mexican, but you was getting some bad shit over there because they had that what they call that stress. So you must be old because they used to just sell like crazy. But it was like in and out. But they had a lot of traffic over there. LGBTQ Bird Mango. Why does everyone act like Dr. Dre is some genius when he stole all these beats? He was a finisher. See, I used to explain back in the day when we used to talk a lot of music stuff, LGBTQ, about a beat maker versus a producer. He used to steal his stuff from beat makers, and then he will produce. He will produce a song. Producing a song is like, you remember if y'all ever watched that documentary or We Are the World? We Are the World, how Quincy Jones was in there saying, you sing right here, you sing right here, you sing right here. That's what a great producer used to do. That's what a producer used to do, where the beat was pretty much already done. But how he was arranging a song and putting people those in, that's what's called a producer. And then the sound quality. And so that's why I give Dre credit for being a great producer. Your pop said that he's from New Orleans. Salute to you and your family. Yes. Yes, his family and my grandmother. A lot of my people are Ruzans. If you ever hear Ruzans out there, which I hear is a big name out in New Orleans. But I think they're from the 9th Ward. And he still have a lot of people that are Ruzans that are out there. Little high yellow, what they call them? Creole looking people. Yeah. Without Eminem, he would have just been another Death Row employee. Who, well, no, he was doing okay. I think what Eminem did, he killed off people like not Hitman, but it was somebody that was on that song with Hitman that was about to blow up. He would have I think would have put more time in King Tila, King T, and that other boy from Ras. Was it Ras that he was working on? Who was with EPMD? He had another guy he was working on. But Dre would have found somebody. Dre was found. What happened to Tupac's Rolls Royce and other cars? I don't know. You have to ask the family. What wasn't turned in that wasn't leased? I think the Rolls Royce was leased, so it was turned in. But the parents, the mother took possession of any of the cars that was paid off, like the Jaguar, the Hummer, and the 500 SL. The family got that. The question is, how many records did Dre produce for the Chronic? And Dog said, well, he got credit for all of them, dog. And the Chronic. And how many songs did Snoop write for both albums? Snoop wrote a lot, but Corrupt helped out, I believe. As I heard, I wasn't around, so I can't say. Not a lawyer, a white lawyer, not a white lawyer, Tom Wally, who also ran his projects before he came to Death Row. Y'all get mad. Everybody get mad at Tom Wally, but Tom Wally was Tupac guy on Me Against the World. Me Against the World, Thug Life. Shit, I Get Around, whatever album was that, Strictly for My Niggas. All of that. Tom Wally has been around with Tupac longer than anybody. Anybody. And that's the person who runs the runs the estate to this day.
Yeah.
Y'all really need to look up Tom Wally track record with Tupac. Then y'all might not be, but he's white, but yeah, but he's still been around. My point is, Tupac brought him around. Tupac dealt with him. So why can't his mama deal with him?
Mm-hmm.
His mama only messed with him because he's he thought that was somebody that Tupac had a respect and love for. That wasn't with Death Row. Where was Tom when Tupac went to prison? I don't know. But you couldn't stop him from going to prison. They kept putting out the music. Me Against the World was #1 album. That was his only job. Y'all blame people for grown men's decisions. I still, to the life of you, don't know how y'all blame me for Tupac hitting on Orlando or Frank. I still don't understand it, but I guess I'll let y'all take it. But that was not Tom Wally's job to keep Tupac out of prison. Tom Wally's job was to get his music in the stores. He had the #1 album while he was in prison. Tom Wally did his job. Yeah. Reggie, during a heyday, what was an average day like in the office? I didn't have to go to the office. My office was pretty much the studio then, because that's pretty much where everybody came. There was a guy by the name of Roy Tesfaye and Norris Anderson that really pretty much kept the office in check. And so they were the ones at the office. Y'all would be surprised how much Suge was in that office. Y'all would be surprised when y'all hear the number of hours that thinking Suge sitting behind that desk. Man, Suge didn't wake up until 4 in the morning. I mean 4 in the afternoon. He didn't start rolling around till about 4 p.m. Now, in fairness to him, he was out and about till 2 or 3 in the morning every night, or at the studio or whatever. But it wasn't like y'all think. It's a shame now how he's running. I think they slowing everything down because they about to do what Biggie and Biggie people did. This thing, Biggie got $100 million for the little bit of work he did. So just think what Tupac gonna get when they finally go ahead and sell. When they go ahead and sell his rights, because that's what the key is. Just sell the rights. Let's sell them. Get that $500-600 million. And so that's where everything seemed to be going. Y'all see Nelly sold his. I'm surprised Snoop haven't sold his yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They act like Reggie grabbed Park and said, exactly, go hit Orlando. Yeah. I don't get why people do me like that, but Cooper Hagen, what up, brother? York family is from the 9th Ward. Oh, you meant your. Our families might know each other. Yeah. Yeah. Your dad hairline and my dad hairline are just alike. Yeah. Shout out Cooper. Cooper Hagen, dad is one of his dad worked for me. His name was Cooper as well. His dad worked for me back in the day. His father is actually the one that went up there after Big Jake got shot and went up there and was out there with Suge he the one that witnessed Suge kicking what's that man's name? The faggot Kirk Barrels in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Young Trill, what up? Okay, but the setup was real. Yeah. Tell me, what is the setup? Let's talk about this. I got time. I want to debate this stuff with you guys today. What is the setup? Tell me the setup. The part about I told them not to carry the guns? Is that the setup? Because I done played audio about 5 times showing y'all that I didn't tell them not to carry their guns. It was the people at the club, but I wasn't even the one to put that order out. It was the attorney that put that out. What's the setup? That Suge called me and told me to bring 5 guys? Well, I told Art, and I begged Art to ask him that question. I bet you Suge won't answer that question today. I bet you he won't. And if he does, he's going to say he told Frank to call me. Frank ain't never called and told me anything like that. Don't y'all remember? Frank didn't have a phone. I guess that's why he'll say, everybody will say he never called me. I seen some video where the group he was talking about, oh, well, how he gonna call Tupac? How Tupac gonna call him? Well, because they was on a hotel phone. The time when Tupac called me was when we was in room to room. Hotels used to have phones in each room where you can call each other on the whole thing, on the phones. And then the time that Frank went and called me, and and he talking about he went to a phone booth. I swear the shit that he just makes up. He was at the hotel lobby. If y'all ever been in the hotel lobby, they have little phones there where they can call up to the rooms. And that's when they call and ask. When Frank asked me where Suge and them at, what time they coming, and Tupac was going off about being late. But y'all keep listening to the groupie. Y'all keep listening to him. Y'all make him feel good. Is Suge still going to do an interview with now? That's passed. He went to Art. That's why I told Art. I told Vlad on the show he messed that boat up. Vlad didn't want to do. I don't think Vlad wanted to do that interview with Suge, and it definitely wouldn't have went. I'm glad Art decided to do the interview with Suge because it's getting more information out there. Even though it's getting, about 25 to 30% of bullshit out there that are just outright lies, at least we still getting something. We still getting something. Rick James, okay, the setup is that rapping fools theory. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know how they listen to him. Is Suge still okay? I'll answer that. Art just let Suge talk. Well, that's how you get information from people, by letting them talk. I just wish he would interject when something has been that we know has been controversial and that's been out there, and that you don't let people say on your channel something to the contrary, then you would just bring it up and be like, well, Reggie said X, Y, and Z on my channel before. Or this gap tooth motherfucker that swears he knows everything about Tupac been pushing this and said this. I just wish he would interject like that, but it's two ways of interview. Y'all know I interrupt a lot, where people like John and Art, they'll just let you talk. So I don't know which style is better. Yeah. Yeah, I think Art does a better job than Vlad. Oh, the way that they did it, Vlad would got some questions from him. I don't know how they would have went with him and Suge. We would have understood it better because it would have been broke down, and we would have been able just to digest those 5 minutes. When you're getting 20, 30 minutes, it takes a little hard and you miss some things. So I don't know which style is better, but Art, by letting him talk and not interrupting, we getting a lot of information out there. Yeah. What is a source 137? It's somebody that's an informant that helped get people put in jail or for the feds. Have you ever heard anyone, when Reggie Wright was a cop, other than when Reggie Wright was a cop, that went to jail behind Reggie Wright? Anyone? Name one person. I didn't even never even went to jail for when I even had your mama on the tracks. I didn't even go to jail for that because I never even told on her. So, yeah. What happened to Top Dog? He's still out. He's somewhere in Mississippi doing whatever he's doing. Yeah, he's out there still trying to make it happen. Top Dog's a good dude, good young man. Vlad would have more. I guess that's a better word. Wobble. I think it would have been more structured the way he did it. But yeah. But Suge would have respected Vlad the way he give Art a little bit more respect. I don't think, because he already would be wanting to pick with Vlad anyway because of that white man, black man bullshit. Can you speak on the Daz versus Corrupt beef? Carlos, thanks for that super chat. Can't really say because I wasn't around when they, that was mainly because Daz had left Death Row and Corrupt came back and they started dissing each other on wax. When Suge let Corrupt call himself the president and all of that stuff. All of that was just playing with that. I forget how it started. I know they did a diss song back on each other, back and forth on each other in like 2004, John? 2005, something like that.
Yeah,
But,
around there. 03.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. I was gone. Why won't Trayvon Lane just clear the air so people won't think Tupac was a clown who did too much? Trayvon is pretty much, he came on our show and said that he mainly just was talking to his big homies, and Tupac took off and ran over there and did what he did to Orlando. He pretty much came up there. He said, it wasn't like he whispered in his ear. He has adamantly denied that. And you know what? I used to speak that he whispered in the ear stuff too. But I don't believe that anymore either. I believe it's like he said. He went over there, said, "Hey, there go that nigga that, try to take my chain at, at the MG. I mean, at the mall." And Tupac took off and went and did what he did. I really do believe that. Yeah. Does Suge Knight get any money from the 90s? No. No, he filed bankruptcy. Once you file bankruptcy, you pretty much give up all your rights. If they elect to take it from you. And they did. But no, he doesn't. Reggie, did Suge, Snoop, or Daz bring their kids to the office or the studio? Ooh. Suge's son, he would have a son that flew in and there, and they would come around here and there. And that was just his oldest son, Taj. Little Suge was young when that happened, so he wouldn't have been around like that in 95, 96. But in the heyday, just his son, Taj. And he was from a young lady that was in Atlanta. And, when Suge would get him, he would have somebody pick him up at the airport and all of that. And he'll be around he'll be around. But Taj was young. Taj was probably 4 or 5. He was a little badass, but he was about 4 or 5 then. Yeah. But in 05, the Dog Pound dropped that Dillinger versus Gotti 2 album. Yeah. Like I said, I don't know. John will have to talk on that. I wasn't dealing with that from an 05 like that. You know what he's talking about, John?
Yeah, he was talking about when Corrupt went back after he left Death Row and went back and did another album with Daz.
Yeah.
They did Dillinger, Young Gotti Part 2. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Reggie, what was the same of the normal eating spots during Death Row days? Well, Jerry Deli's was a big one for ordering and having to come up to the studio, or meetings at lunchtime. We used to meet David Kenner. David Kenner office was on Ventura, and it was right in that area, so we'd go to Jerry Deli's a lot. But at night, it was Monty's Steakhouse, the one in Westwood, not the one that's currently out there in Woodland Hills. We went to this one in Westwood that we used to go to a lot. Suge and I used to go to the Century. He used to go and buy this special deodorant that he used to like, that they used to sell at in the Century Mall, Century City Mall. And so we would go over to Houston's a few times and eat at Houston's. But yeah, that was about it. Mainly with Jerry Deli's was probably the most where we ate at, because that's where we have a lot of our meetings at. If he wasn't trying to wine or dine somebody at Monty's. Reggie, whose situation is worse, Suge's or Diddy? Suge on his way home. Diddy don't know. Ask me in July, I may tell you something different, because Diddy may be a free man. But Suge less than 9 years away at worst. So I would say Suge is in a better position. But if Diddy finds to be not guilty, then yeah, which is there's a chance. There's a chance from what we know right now. The internet's going to be on fire again about Diddy in about a month. It's going to be back on fire, y'all. Y'all going to be Diddy out again. Johnny done asked about 10 times. Any Suge and Michelet stories, and why does Dre beat not like his children? That's generally when you not raised and don't have a father in your life. You can, well, I don't know. I never experienced that, but my experience is you can easily not think your kids need a father because you didn't have a father. some people may say different, be like, that's why I'm really gonna be a better father because my daddy wasn't shit. But I think that's what it was. It's just that he have issues with the baby mamas once he's not fucking with the baby mama because he adopted Sadell 3 kids. He adopted 2 kids and took care of them like when he was with their mama, with that kid's mama, and that was another man kid, and that man signed his rights and he adopted them. So I don't know. I don't know what his issue was. A funny story is when we was in the Bahamas. I remember Mr. Lay flew out and came out there, and she had a big old white wedding gown out there. Suge was still married to Sharita, and he had her tricked. And he probably was going to do it because he eventually did do it, but he didn't do it. He had somebody else do it. But she really thought they were about to have a big wedding out there in the Bahamas. Oh my God. She had a wedding dress and everything. And I looked at her like, do you know that this nigga is still married to Sharita? And she said to me, I ain't never seen no wedding pictures. I never seen when they get married. I was like, okay, all right. But trust me, they were married. I did the divorce between the two. I hired the attorney, and her name was Linda Sheridan, and I handled Suge part, and had to go and deal with her to handle her part. And so, yep, they were married though. Reggie, do you know CEO Wacko and the real Whack? I know the real Whack. CEO Wacko, I talked to on the phone. He's the gentleman that the groupie said that I'm lying about, which is crazy. When I told y'all, Shaq called me, wanted me to correct the part about him getting ran out of LA. Not the part like the groupie say about the story that I told about Shani O'Neal and all of that. But he was just mad about the part of saying that he got ran out of LA. But CEO Wacko was the one that called me. So we talked a couple of times like that. We know of each other because, of course, he's from West Side Piru. And then he did a group with my boy Big Y, that group, the Dougie. Teach Me How to Dougie. I forget the name of their group, but they had that hot song. Him and Big Y was, I think, partners on that song. And so, of course, he knows of me because, I did a lot of work with Big Y in the group The Relatives in the early 2000s. Reggie, I sent you a super chat question. Could you answer that question for me? DJ 52-3? John?
Yeah, let me look. Yeah, he says, does Diddy have an advantage rushing the trial?
If you're innocent, I believe you go to trial as quick as you can if you're innocent.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's not innocent, and from what we see and know today, they know. But from what I meant by from what they have presented to the public, and like I always say, that's on YouTube. We so fucked up, all of us, Reggie included, because we always talking like we know the whole case. We know everything that the prosecution have, just like on the Keefe D case and the big, we only know what's out there, what leaked out. We don't know the whole cases. And these are people that's working daily. There's somebody right now for the prosecution, for the U.S. Attorney Office that's working right now on the Diddy case, typing up something, writing some type of motion or something. And we be thinking we know everything and based just on what then leaked out, and we be trying to put an opinion on the case. And so, but for what I know, is when people are guilty or you got to fight something or something don't look good, you try to get as many extensions as you can. When you're innocent and you're not worried about it and you feel like the prosecution don't have enough, then you try to get before the jury as soon as you can. And as of the day, April the 13th, that's what Puffy lead defense attorney appears to be trying to do. Now, whether that's why the black attorney quit, I say that because I don't know his name, but the attorney that quit about a month or two ago quit is because he felt, hey, we rushing this, we I don't know, it never came out. But that's the only thing that make me wonder, if there's something to it, if there's some reason. But we don't know. We don't know. It never came out why that attorney asked to be taken off the case and was adamant that he that he can remain on the case. So that would be my take. Cali Swag District is the group. Yeah, correct. Thanks. Stroke. Thank you. Why don't people hold the dog pound for putting the first disc record aimed that Biddy? See, they said that wasn't. He's talking about the New York 187. It wasn't called that. It was New York, New York.
No, there's another one. There was another one, Reggie.
It wasn't that
Another
one.
song, yeah, called NY87 with Tupac. And the reason they were never held accountable because that song never got released until 2013 when Wide Awake put it out.
Oh, the New York 87.
Yeah, it was the Dog Pound and Tupac and Daily Threat, but the version we put on the Wide Awake thing was without Tupac. But his whole thing is, why didn't they ever catch any shit for being the first people to really
diss
do a
song.
hard diss song on the East Coast? And my response would be because it never came out until people were over it,
Yeah. Did Corrupt really sleep with that 13-year-old girl? Okay. Did Melvin already speak? Yeah, Melvin already spoke. He spoke about the 15 minutes for 45 minutes on at the beginning of the stream. Hey Reggie, did Dr. Dre ever smoke weed? Yes, he smoked weed, but he was mainly a drinker. He was known for drinking a lot. They said Threat was on the New York 87 song.
Yeah.
But he meant Threat or Threat? Who's Threat?
No, a guy named Deadly Threat was from this group. I guess Snoop was going to do called the LA Zoo or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Somebody asked, I don't know, you've spoken on this before, but I'll ask you, Reggie. Do you know who leaked the Machiavelli albums and why didn't Death Row have tighter control over who had access to the masters?
John leaked it.
Shit.
John, I sent you a segment about 2 weeks ago. If you could try to key up and let a white man tell them.
2 weeks ago? Okay, let me look.
The guy, Evan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me try to find it.
So what John about to play for y'all is this audio from the guy that I always told y'all. You remember I used to always tell you about a guy named Evan and Dean that found Eminem? Evan and Dean. And they were like Jimmy's assistants at Interscope. They were like his right hand. Dean eventually was like, when Clyde Davis had J Records, he was Clyde's right hand. And I just found this and heard this. I knew of this because I always told y'all how I had turned over all of that music to Interscope. And when John played the story, y'all gonna hear how the music was all turned over from myself and Edie to Interscope, and then what Interscope did, and who made those dats. Y'all gonna hear Evan speak on all of that.
I'm ready when you are, I think. I don't know the exact spot, but I got the clip pulled up.
Oh, I'll try to listen to it because he did start talking about that. I think I gave you the time period when I sent that text. But just try to talk when he's talking about this security alert and all of that with the music, with the Machiavelli.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So y'all listen to this and then y'all take where y'all want. But this is the truth of how the music was turned over to them and how I feel now that the DATs were made and that the Machiavelli stuff got leaked in this transfer.
Thing to me, which always stuck with me, which is like, we're also going to, he said, going to teach you how to make an album, going to teach you how to finish an album, which is the hardest thing to do. People don't know how to finish albums. I thought it was interesting because people really don't sometimes, you know, they just keep going on and on and on. It's like, how do you know when an album is done kind of thing, which I thought was an interesting lesson. But it set me off on this like 6-month journey of like going in the studio. They had this vault with like every unreleased Tupac song and 2-inch reels with with Jimmy Interscope's head engineer, this guy Chuck Reed, and we pulled up every Tupac song that had ever been recorded. They had all of them, and we did like board mixes on all of them, you know, analog days, and we'd mix them down and put them on DATs, and then we'd separate them into like A, B, or C songs based on what we thought they were, A quality, B quality, or C quality, and I'd have to transcribe lyrics for all the songs, like 160 songs. And so, and they were like crazy, like doodles on like the track sheet. I should have taken them. I was too honest, but like Tupac's drawing on there. He had like one where there's like a gravestone that said R.I.P. B.I.G. on it, like crazy shit. Wow. Like it's so nuts. Anyway, so I'm working on this project and I get and we go to the studio to start working on it. A studio called Sound Castle, which is now Pulse Studios. Wow. So before it was Pulse, it was a studio you could rent called Sound Castle, like a record plant or one of those, you know, one of those kind of things. So it was Sound Castle. Sound Castle was locked out for this Tupac project, and they had like armed guards there, and there was like rumors of like Death Row is going to try to steal the reels, and like, you know, so every day I would go there. I'm like this 18-year-old kid working on a Tupac album with like his mom and like the Outlaws, like Edie and those guys, and like Mo Preem, his brother, and like all this whole crew of people at Sound Castle, and everybody's like smoking weed and telling stories, and like you have these like legendary producers like Tony D and Easy Mo B and Soul Shock and Carlin and all these people coming in and working on all these songs. And they had a couple hit songs on that album, which was Do for Love, which was a big hit, and I Wonder If Heaven Got a Ghetto, which was also a single on that album. And you know, the album went like 3 times it was, you know, a big record. It was his first posthumous Tupac album, but
okay.
All right, so y'all go check out that interview and listen to that interview, and it tells you more. It wants a little more, but you know, we didn't want to go too deep into it. That's the first time, and people used to always tell me, well, that's made and all of that. And even John, you say, I heard that's, and I heard a story of that's getting left in a car and this and that. I'm like, we ain't never had no DATs. We had 2-inch wheels. And that's the first time I heard of some DATs getting made. And so, I don't know. This is how I think the Tupac stuff got leaked. As y'all see, they admitted, like I've always said, we turned them over to Interscope. We never knew that, you know, I never knew about this. And as they say, they were on high alert, thinking Death Row people was gonna go coming up there tripping and all of that. So y'all know we wasn't involved in it, but this is the first I ever heard of DATs getting made and them transferring the reels to DATs. And so I don't know. That's one theory. That's something that I just found out. Well, you know, just scrolling on the internet when I saw that interview. But I know that dude Dean. And I know Evan, they were both Jimmy's assistants, and they were the ones that actually credited. Y'all listen to that interview if y'all really want to know how Eminem was discovered. I kind of told y'all my story about Eminem and how the guy, Dean always get credit for it, but Evan is really the one that went to the sound, what they used to call those, when artists perform, what they call them?
Like rap battles?
Showcase.
Oh.
He's the one that went to the showcase that found him and had met with Eminem manager and stuff. It's a really a good listen if y'all get a chance to. Maybe John can pin that interview for y'all if y'all really want to know about Eminem and all of that. But hey, for whoever asked that question, that's how I feel now that those deaths were made and how the Machiavellis got leaked. So yeah, this answered my question a little bit. Okay, John, Deuce just text me. He got something he want to say. Could you unblock him? He's saying he's still blocked. Like, or I think his name is. He got some funny weird name for his channel.
I gotta know exactly what.
Archive ways of some shit. You know that guy that I always tell you to be talking to shit. Another guy that just built his channel talking about me and Wack. You know, Archie Backs. He got some name. You know, with the red and blue crib rag and all that.
Okay.
Just type in Deuce Sims and this name of his channel come in right quick.
Yeah, you can't search like that. I got to go through the list. There's no like searching. For
No. I'm saying if you type that in on YouTube, the Deuce Sims, his name will come. Something Chucks. You know, the one that you always.
Or whatever from the other day?
Yeah, that guy.
Okay, let me see. Because I know
y'all just blocked him on that last stream. I don't know why y'all blocked him.
Not y'all. You know who blocked him. Was not me. It's gonna take a while, so.
Okay, never mind. Or Damu Kiwi, they saying? Damu Kiwi.
Well, which one is it? Because I gotta know which name.
You know what? I don't even care. No, fuck it. I don't care.
I don't mind.
It's one of the names. It shouldn't be that many people blocked. We got that many people blocked.
We got 340 people blocked.
Well, it don't. Whether it goes in alphabetical order or it don't go by recent.
It's just a random. You want me screen share?
Why would you even say the number of people?
Why would you ask how many people we got blocked?
Well, yeah, okay.
Because I did this during the last stream, looking for the active Chucks, and I couldn't find it. But I'll keep looking.
Oh, now you know the name.
No, I just said, was it active Chucks? And you said, no, whatever.
Reggie, do you know or met YG? No, I don't know YG like that, y'all. I got an issue with YG. I'm gonna sue him one day. He used one of my songs and that I own publishing on with B Brazy. That Blood song, I do mine like this. With B Brazy. He owed me some money. He did a whole song with the Blood Walk on a B Brazy verse. Let's see. Deadly Threat had the Friday soundtrack. Okay. How much did Dre have when he left Death Row? Reggie, have you ever met YG? No. My first OG wasn't playing about dudes that don't rock a mustache. Stands today when you spoke on that. I know. Well, first, you wasn't playing about dudes that don't rock a mustache. Like still stands today when you spoke on that. Hey. Yeah, I done found a few ever since I said that don't have like Michael Jordan and stuff like that I don't believe. Baby your doll. All right. Reggie, I remember when Death Row Uncut DVD was released back in 2000, and y'all said it was a great release, monetary wise, and how good the Dead Man Walking album do based on it being independent. Well, not so much that it had been independent, well, that too, but because it was already done. It was free money. That's why I always say my numbers was better because we didn't have to do no marketing or promoting, and we just had to put the albums together. And so all it was pretty much was put a disc together and put it in the stores, which only cost what? To make a disc back then, a CD, 80 cents to $1 to make a disc. And then everything was profit that was made after that. Other than you pay the artists, and I had buyouts with most of the artists, so we didn't even really have to pay them. We had to pay them any any royalties because they was already bought out. Yeah, but John, if you can't find it, don't spend too much time on that.
I think there was a Lost Scandalous Confidential, which maybe
that was his partner, but he
Okay.
should be good.
I did.
That's his partner.
Okay. But I
Yeah.
can't find and I can't find the Active Chucks one. I don't think he's blocked, to be honest.
Oh, okay. He kind of special, so he probably don't even know how to respond or type.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's either that or he probably got another name because he's such a troll. He probably can't even. He probably got it black some other way. But he was in the comment section that day, and then he all of a sudden disappeared.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But no, to be fair, 99% of these are that Alex guy.
Yeah.
All Alex names.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Tell us a Crooked Eye story. Crooked Eye is cool, laid back. We got an interview with him on Bomb First that we did when we was doing on-camera interviews with people about 3 years ago, where he was just smoking his cigar, looking cool. We got some live streams with Crooked Eye. Crooked Eye has always been real supportive of us. Real cool. I thought Crooked Eye would have been the one that's that really kept Death Row going when Suge came home. But Suge came home, and I had his company set up pretty much living off the catalog and to be independent. And Suge was used to getting big advances and big record companies putting a lot of money behind, with high budget videos and all of that. The company that we were signed with, Koch Entertainment, wasn't built like that. If they spent $300,000 on an album, to put in the stores and the video and everything, y'all remember when they had that song, one of the hottest songs, Balling, when Jim Jones had that song Balling and all that. Y'all go look at that video. And that was after the song, the remix was doing big. And that was like a one screen, one location where they just dropped the green screen and they all was just standing in front of the green screen, making the video. That's how Koch videos were. Suge wasn't, y'all seen the videos that he used to put out, and he didn't understand that, and he didn't know how to adjust from the 90s to the 2000s. Yeah. So that's what happened to why Suge would never put nothing out, and he had a hard time adjusting because he wanted to go back to the way when he had big budget, when Interscope would just he say jump, they ask how high, versus going to an independent company where they just, this is what y'all got, let's see what happens. How does the owner of a security company owns a publishing for artists? Because the owner of the security company was making a lot of money and he was able to buy them out of their for their rights because those niggas was broke. Those niggas didn't have no money. And the owner of the security company had money. How did he have about 5 cars and 10 cars in his name? He had 5 different houses at the time. Y'all see me laid up now. Y'all want to take a tour of my house and see how my house and my backyard look? Y'all want me to flex like that? Still to this day. So just because y'all parents, I ain't gonna get into all that. Just because y'all listening to people on YouTube that's my age bracket, that tell y'all how they don't have this or they don't have that, they living in a little 1 or 2 bedroom apartment, with their families, and y'all want to, come at me because I'm always been cool, doing good. Even when I was laid up, laying in the hospital, I might didn't have cash flow like I used to, but I always had my shit. So please don't come at me about that. I don't try to talk about nobody because anybody to get up and go to work and make their money, I got respect for. But don't let other people try to antagonize how I'm doing or what I'm doing. 'Cause I've been working since I was 14 years of age. And anybody that really knows me know Reggie always had good shit. But we shouldn't talk about people finances and everything because we all have ups and downs. Everybody. Reggie, were you the Paru jealous of Key Rock and were the Paru? It wasn't jealous of him per se. It was just jealous of what Suge was doing for him. Suge bought him a car during the time when they were all getting their cars or had just gotten their cars taken away. Yeah. The runs. No jumper should Reggie as a consultant. Well, they doing their thing. How can y'all say Reggie you should use Reggie as a consultant? They got 25 million. He said he got 25 million views. Me and John on a good month only get about 2 million views. So no. They doing what they supposed to do. I was just trying to tell them about the atmosphere. Because if you don't think I've seen atmosphere like that before, where you have guys around, Bloods and Crips around and all of that, shit. Reggie, you ever check in with Big U? I have lived in LA all my life, sir. I'll just say that. Or Compton all my life. People that lives in this community don't check in. But let me just keep it real about something. When we went to New York and we were out there doing things in their town, not just me and Suge and a few guys on a business trip or something like that. We were going out to partying in the club and all that. Suge had people out there like Eric B or Big D or the dudes from Philly that Corrupt was real cool with. I forget their names. There was some cool and stuff like that. Shit, Tretch one time looked out for us. Shit, I remember what's the boys from the Rough Riders? Big D and them, they used to come and meet up with us when they came in town. We'll go meet with them when they come in town. So you respect other people's towns. You respect other people's towns. So yeah, I mean, yeah. So I guess we were doing some checking in our own way, not checking in, but y'all come hang out with us. Y'all come be with us. Yeah, we did that a few times. Suge used to be with Lakey. Well, that was a little bit later in life. I didn't know when he was hanging with Lakey. Yeah, I didn't know when he was hanging with him, but I heard about him. I think something on that documentary they were doing, Welcome to something. Yeah, with Kid Lakey. Tupac Still I Rise. Okay.
That person just says random stuff. They're the one that said Outlaws royalties.
Yeah. Oh, he killed. Yeah. So I guess he.
Yeah, it's a question.
Yeah. Suge used to be with Lakey the Kid. Okay. Will you be buying the No Jumper warehouse? I don't have no desire for it, and no. I don't know why they haven't thought of this. I don't know why, because Wack had a nice. You remember that what they call that building? Something 100. What would they call that building? Where Wack had built out, did that nice build out at the 100 show. He need to go get that building that Wack was having. Mm-hmm. Wack spent a lot of money on building that building out, and he need to go and take his show to that spot, and just let it look empty. And I bet you that place will sell. People ain't gonna want to go by it with all those people that be around there, But they empty building cleaned up shows better when you're trying to sell it than one filled up with niggas smoking and drinking and doing whatever they be doing up there. Y'all ever see the behind the scenes up there in No Jumper? It don't look like an atmosphere I want to be rolling around in my wheelchair in. Where's the Samoan game on Compton? Where's the Samoan game? It's a game called Ask a Bum. It's called Park Village Crips, which you would think is just Samoans. But they also have a bunch of Crips inside of this housing projects, I call it, called the Wilmington Arms. 700 West Laurel is the address. The Wilmington Arms is where the Park Village Crips is mainly. That and this new housing. Well, I call them new because they were new back in the 90s. They had built about 200 houses that were brand new. My sister lived in there. What was it called? Sunny Cove? Was it Sunny Cove, y'all? But anyway, they lived in there, and that little area was called Park Village Crip. The blogs days, Lakey, Reggie, what was CPO like? Real quiet, low key. He was one that didn't say much, talked. Him and this guy named Hub and Shar Jones were the three that I had a lot of respect for back in the day, because they would get their little monthly checks or whatever, but they had jobs. They wasn't, they were just trying to come and record, but they would go to work. They had jobs, and I always had a lot of respect for them because they wasn't just trying to sit around, wait on the monthly, and they were good dudes. The armed security guards always got busted at the Wilmington Arms. Yeah, got busted on. Yeah, one time they laid out some dudes in the Wilmington Arms though, in 700 West Laurel. They used to get busy over there. Yeah. Reggie, Compton AD, the original No Jumper Crip. Okay. I'm sure if I seen who he was, I'm sure I know him. But I wasn't. I'll be honest. I just got into No Jumper in the last year and a half. John used to always tell me about Sharp and people like that, and I didn't know who the hell he was talking about, and I didn't have no idea who they were. Rest in peace, Little Nation, aka CPO Boss Hog. Yeah, CPO Boss Hog. Was MC Ren in a gang? I didn't know much about Ren, but I'm sure he was over there with the in hoods. Yeah. Okay, John. What we at 2.5 hours? So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So guys, we're gonna try to do the live streams a couple of days a week. If anything breaking news or anything major happen, y'all want to say who y'all got for the NBA Finals? The playoffs about to start. I got coming out of the West. If I was a smart man or a betting man, I would say OKC. But I'm gonna go with the Lakers or the Clippers, y'all. I'm going to go with the Lakers and Clippers, Western Conference Final. And out of the East is real easy, Cleveland and Boston. So Lakers and Clippers is my pick, and Cleveland and Boston. Who y'all got? For the finals, I don't think the Celtics going to be able to pull it off back to back. For the finals, I think we're gonna have a Clippers. And I'm not a Clippers fan. I'm a Laker fan all the way, y'all. Lakers all the way, but I would love to see a Lakers Celtics finals. But for some reason, I'm gonna go with some underdogs: Clippers in Cleveland or Clippers in Boston. For some reason, I'm liking the Clippers right now, and I just think OKC is not ready. I don't think Houston is ready. And the Clippers been playing the best ball lately. But I'll be a happy man. Man, the Wizards not even in it. Shut up. I'll be a happy man if the Lakers win it. Keepy D and Reggie going to be together soon. Okay. Thank you for that information. Other than you being a psychopath, what information do you have? Could you tell us your information that you have? Who do you know where you can honestly say something like that other than just being a troll? Huh? Yeah, but Kawhi Leonard, I would bet Vegas need to have a bet on how soon will Kawhi Leonard will get hurt. I got a feeling Kawhi Leonard gonna be hurt real soon. Mogul the Giant. Respect, Mogul. How you doing? Hope all's well with you, man. I got a feeling they're gonna be hurt real soon. Gangster Love, respect. Rondo Harley, respect. Letitia, thanks. Mogul, shout out. HTST, I don't even know what that means, but shout out to you. Rondo Harley, respect. Ask a Bomb, thank you for those super chats and respect. Sergio, respect. I'm a big boss, respect. Rick James, always respect. D. Sean, respect. Even though you think you're a comedian, but I like clowns too. I go to the circus every now and then. And so I like to take my grandsons to the circus and laugh at clowns. Cardia Shabazz, respect. Danny Sandoval, respect always. Reggie, what are your thoughts on the Lakers in the playoffs? Okay, we just talked about that. Didn't see that question, but I answered your question. SA Centers, respect. LGBTQ Bird Mango. All right. Respect, man. At least you telling us who you are. I tell you, as long as you ain't in the closet, I ain't got a problem with you. The Shadow King, respect. Don Z TV, good luck with your channel and respect. You sound like you're a Compton boy. You from the Compton, Don Z TV? Mr. Man, okay. AP, respect. The Runts, okay. Respect. Cake loves art, okay. All right, so I guess I hit everybody. Respect to all of y'all, and thanks for coming over there to the live chat. Frats, the guitar, respect. Rav the rapper. Reggie, what's your number, bro? Hit me up on IG, please. I can't get my number out because I got trolls, man. I gave my number out one time. It was stupid. They would put me on gay porn sites and all type of shit. I had faggots calling me, talking to, well, people. They were trolling there, calling me, so I don't put my number out no more. Frelo, respect. 40th Street Blue, Gun Rule, respect. Dre Day, 33. All right. I hope I told everybody. If I missed you, I apologize, but respect to you. Tay Gunner, respect. Cider, Retro, Fudo, Rillis. Oh, okay, from Puerto Rico, respect. Respect, man. And Raz 7, respect. Okay, I think I got everybody now. Jay Mason, respect, man. What up, Jersey? Representative, is that my boy Jersey Deep? If that's you, Jersey, I hope everything's going good with you, man. I've been following you. I've been noticing you've been a little sick. Those seizures been kicking your ass, but hope all's well with you, Jersey. Represent. But I don't think you Jersey D. You don't look like Jersey Deep. I gotta blow it up. But if it's Jersey Deep, respect. Salute, Reg. Okay, Deshaun Williams, respect. Erwin M. All right, respect. All right, John, you can take us off whenever you're ready, buddy.
Okay.
Appreciate you, John, for doing this with us.
Yep.
And we'll see y'all probably by Tuesday. Hopefully by Tuesday we'll be back at y'all. Respect.